Dear students, welcome to this digital lecture series. The topic of today's discussion is quantum mechanics, and in that we are going to see the origin of quantum mechanics. Now, before quantum mechanics, classical mechanics was extensively used to explain the behavior and motion of the objects. Classical mechanics could explain the motion of macroscopic objects. Macroscopic means those objects which are having very large dimensions. So, macroscopic objects like projectiles, parts of machinery, astronomical objects like spacecraft, planets, stars, galaxies, their motion, their behavior could be explained by classical mechanics. Now, classical mechanics was largely based on the Newton's laws of motion, and hence it was also known as the Newtonian laws or Newtonian mechanics. Classical mechanics failed spectacularly when it was applied to microscopic objects or phenomena involving microscopic objects. Now, microscopic means objects with very small dimension of order of micro or nano range. Now, the earliest failure of classical mechanics was that it failed to explain the black body radiation spectrum. Besides this, certain other phenomena like photoelectric effect, the stability of hydrogen atom, all these could not be explained by classical mechanics. So let us see the failure of classical mechanics to explain the black body radiation spectrum. So before that, what is a black body? Any body that absorbs all the radiations that are incident on it is called a black body. And when a black body is heated, it will emit all the radiations of all the possible wavelengths from lambda is equal to 0 to lambda is equal to infinity. These radiations that are emitted by a black body when it is heated is called black body radiations. So, the black body radiation, they were analyzed by using a spectrograph. Two scientists, Lummer and Pringsheim, maintained the black bodies at different temperatures and measured the energy intensity of the emitted radiation for different wavelengths. Now, when a graph was plotted between energy intensity of the emitted radiation on y-axis and the wavelength lambda on x-axis, whatever curve we have obtained, they are called black body radiation spectrum. This particular figure shows black body radiation spectrum when black body is maintained at different temperatures. So what are the silent features of this black body radiation spectrum? We observe from this figure that the black body radiation spectrum is not similar. If the black body is maintained at different temperatures, then the emitted energy intensity spectrum, it is different for different temperatures. The emitted spectrum, it is of continuous nature. We observe from the curve that as the wavelength is increased, the energy intensity of the emitted radiation goes on increasing. It attains a maximum value for certain wavelength lambda m. And now, if the wavelength is increased beyond lambda m, the emitted intensity goes on decreasing. So, if you observe this curve, that as the wavelength lambda goes on increasing, the emitted intensity also goes on increasing. It attains a maximum value for certain wavelength lambda m. And now, if you increase the wavelength beyond lambda m, then emitted intensity goes on decreasing. The area under the curve and the wavelength axis, it represents the total energy emitted by the black body at a given temperature T. And we observe from that figure that the area under the curve and the wavelength axis, it goes on increasing as the temperature of the black body increases. So what does this mean? This means that the total radiant energy E emitted per unit area per second by a black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature T raised to the power 4. So the radiant energy E is proportional to T raised to the power 4, where T is the absolute temperature of the black body. Now if you remove this proportionality sign, we get E is equal to sigma into T raised to the power 4, where this sigma is having the value 5.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 joule per meter square, and it is called Stephen's constant. And this law that the total radiant energy E emitted is proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature. This law is called the Stephen's law of radiation. So, this is a black body radiation spectrum, and in this spectrum we observe that for a black body at temperature T, the wavelength lambda m corresponding to which maximum energy intensity is emitted, this wavelength lambda m shifts towards lower wavelength side. It shifts towards lower wavelength side with the increase in temperature. It means if the black body is maintained at 2000 degree Kelvin, this corresponding wavelength will be the lambda m. Now if you maintain it at 5000 degree Kelvin, lambda m has decreased. So with the increase in temperature, the wavelength corresponding to which maximum energy intensity is emitted, it goes on decreasing. This displacement of the intensity peak towards lower wavelength lambda with the increase in the temperature of the black body, it is called the Wien's displacement law. And mathematically, the Wien's displacement law is given by the relation lambda m into T. It is equal to constant, that is having the value 0.2892 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter Kelvin. This T is the absolute temperature of black body, and lambda m is the wavelength corresponding to which the maximum energy intensity is emitted. Now let's see the failures of classical mechanics. We know the Wien's displacement law is given by lambda m into T is equal to 0.2892 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter Kelvin, and this is a constant. Now, when this Wien's displacement law was plotted, then it was found to be valid only at lower wavelengths, and it failed at higher wavelengths. So what does this mean? The Wien's displacement law could explain the black body radiation spectrum at lower wavelengths only. For higher wavelengths, the Wien's displacement law was not valid. It could not explain the black body radiation spectrum at higher wavelength site. So this was the first failure of classical mechanics. Secondly, black body radiation spectrum studies was also carried out by Rayleigh Jeans, and studies by Rayleigh and Jeans resulted in a Rayleigh-Jeans law, which is given by u lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi kt upon lambda raised to the power 4 d lambda. Now, this particular law, it was found to explain the black body radiation spectrum only at longer or higher wavelengths. At lower wavelength, if you consider this Rayleigh-Jeans law at lower wavelength, its value of energy intensity emitted in the black body radiation spectrum, according to Rayleigh-Jeans law, it tends to infinity. And this failure of the Rayleigh-Jeans law to explain the black body radiation spectrum is famously known as ultraviolet catastrophe. So, at shorter wavelengths, there was a mismatch or a major disagreement between the classical theory and the experimental results for a black body radiation spectrum. And this mismatch was called ultraviolet catastrophe. So what was the ultraviolet catastrophe? That according to Rayleigh-Jeans law, it could explain the black body radiation spectrum at higher wavelengths, but as wavelength tends to zero, the energy intensity emitted by a black body, it tends to infinity. This was according to the classical theory or the Rayleigh-Jeans law, which was based on classical mechanics. But what was observed experimentally at lower wavelength? At lower wavelength, the energy intensity emitted by a black body should tend to zero. But classically, according to Rayleigh-Jeans law, at lower wavelength, this energy intensity tend to infinity. So this was a mismatch, a major disagreement, and it was called ultraviolet catastrophe. So this could not be explained by classical mechanics. Now let's see the Rayleigh-Jeans law in terms of frequency. We know that the frequency into wavelength is velocity of light c. So we get lambda is equal to c by nu, or d lambda is equal to minus c upon nu square d nu. Now if you substitute these in the relation obtained by Rayleigh-Jeans law, then we get u nu d nu is equal to 8 pi kt upon c cube nu square d nu. This is the Rayleigh-Jeans law in terms of frequency, and it states that the energy intensity emitted by a black body is proportional to nu square, that is the square of frequency. Now, if energy intensity is proportional to nu square, then the radiations with larger frequency, they should be present in a large amount in the radiation spectrum. Now we know that ultraviolet rays are having large frequency. Their frequency is larger than that of the visible rays. So according to the Rayleigh-Jeans law, in the black body radiation spectrum, the energy intensity for the ultraviolet rays should be more as compared to the energy intensity of the visible rays. But there is a violation, as we observe that in the black body radiation spectrum, the energy intensity is less for ultraviolet rays and it is more for the visible rays. This contradiction to the Rayleigh-Jeans law is called the ultraviolet catastrophe. And this was the failure of classical mechanics, that it could not explain the black body radiation spectrum. Observe this figure. This is energy intensity. This is the wavelength. Now, in this particular case, energy intensity is less for ultraviolet rays, and for the visible rays, the energy intensity is more. So, this mismatch between the Rayleigh-Jeans law on the basis of classical mechanics and the experimentally observed result, this mismatch is called ultraviolet catastrophe. Now there are some other phenomena involving micro objects like electrons, atoms, etc., which could not be explained by classical mechanics. To name a few, the first one is photoelectric effect. According to classical mechanics, a more intense radiation should emit more photoelectrons, and the emission of photoelectrons should be independent of frequency of the incident radiation. But experimentally it was seen that even if the intensity of the radiation is more, still the frequency plays a major role in photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect was found to be frequency dependent, and it was found to be independent of the intensity of the incident radiation. Again, stability of atoms could not be explained on the basis of classical mechanics. We know that an atom consists of positively charged nucleus at the center with electrons revolving around it. Electrons are charged particles, and according to classical mechanics, since the charged electrons are revolving around the nucleus, it should emit energy, and if it emits energy, after some time it should lose its energy and it should then collapse into the nucleus. But we have seen that nothing of this kind happens in an atom. Atom is stable with electron continuously moving in a circular orbit around the positively charged nucleus. So this was the failure of classical mechanics when it was applied to micro objects. Now why did classical mechanics fail? Because according to classical mechanics, majority of discussions or laws, they were based on the concept that the material particles emit or absorb the energy in the form of heat or light in a continuous manner. That is, there is continuous absorption or emission of energy by a material, particle or matter. Because of this concept, classical mechanics could not explain many phenomena. Now this failure was removed by Max Planck, who proposed that energy emission or absorption, it is not a continuous process. In fact, energy is absorbed or emitted in multiples of fixed units, and these fixed units are called quanta. Thus, a black body, according to Max Planck, should not continuously emit or absorb the radiations. It should emit or absorb the radiation or energy in multiples of fixed amount, and that fixed amount is given by E is equal to h nu, and this fixed packet of energy is called quanta. Energy of one quanta is E is equal to h nu, where h is the Planck's constant, nu is the frequency. Thus, according to Planck, energy absorption or emission is not a continuous process, and it is always done, energy absorption or emission is always done in multiples of fixed or discrete unit, which is called quanta. And this concept revolutionized the phenomena in microscopic world. And this was the origin of quantum mechanics, that the energy emission or absorption is always taking place in multiples of fixed unit called quanta. In the next lecture, we will see how it could remove major discrepancies in classical mechanics. That's all for today. Have a nice day.